The championship and the last place matchup have been decided. Let's talk about the playoffs round 2 HFL recap. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am your host of the HFL recap, Jimmy Foosball. This week we're going to talk about the second round of the playoffs. Let's get right into it with our first consolation matchup to talk about. We got Fink versus Mike. This is really a who cares matchup here. In this matchup, Amari Cooper drops a nuke. 48 points. But guess what? It doesn't matter because Fink still loses by 1 point. Fink is a clown who kept Josh Jacobson and Jaden Reed. They both put up 0 points. Also, Brock Purdy has a bad game. He gets injured and replaced by Sam Darnold towards the end of it. And for Mike, Jason Sanders is MVP. And our second consolation matchup to go over is between Cleary versus Joe. This one is a little more serious here. Cleary avoids the last place game, although he has the worst regular season record in the league. For Cleary, Breece Hall explodes for 37.1 points. Joe's team does okay, nothing too crazy, 113.22 points. And with this loss, Joe falls to the last place matchup. And our third and final consolation match to go over is a pretty big one actually. It is between David and Zach. David wins in a very low scoring battle, 88.74 to 85.08. It is a shocking result as Zach falls to the last place matchup. David avoids going last place for back-to-back years, so big congratulations to him. Zach faces a last place game for the second time in his career. We will go over the history in a little bit. It is Zach's first time in consolation in 8 years. And with this appearance, he falls all the way to the bottom. For Zach, Devontae Adams drops 0.9 points. That is absolutely insane. The Colts defense with -2 points to the Atlanta Falcons and Zach's favorite coach, Arthur Smith. For David, Saquon comes through and saves the day with 17.9 points. David all day kept saying, Saquon, let him know why I drafted you so early, and he comes through for David. So we are going to have Zach versus Joe in the HFL 2023 last place toilet bowl. Loser is going to have to do a punishment. A little later on, we'll probably do a little toilet bowl preview for you guys. But yeah, that is the consolation news. Let's get into the playoffs. Our first playoff matchup to go over is one that doesn't really matter. They're both eliminated. Who cares? It is JD versus Boston. The game goes 1 point in favor of JD. Lamar Jackson drops 22 points. JJ drops 24.1 points. Unfortunately, TJ Hockey Puck tears his ACL and his MCL, and he's out for the remainder of the season. JD and Boston, I think they're just going to keep playing each other over and over again for one more final week. You know, they both made the playoffs, but at the end of the day, they lost. Who fucking cares? Our second playoff matchup to go over is a big rivalry game between Gabe and Frank. Frank coming in with a historic season, #1 seed, dropping damn near 140 points every week, and guess what? He does it again. Gabe was talking spicy this week in the chat. It was the most active he's been all year. It was nice to see Gabe, you know, coming back to life as he's been pretty quiet a majority of the season, but unfortunately, this game does not go in Mr. Roboto's favor. There's plenty of back and forth between them all weekend, but like I said, Frank's been dropping 140 all year. He does it again, securing the dub 141.04 to 110.1. For Gabe, Patrick Mahomes drops 16.7 points. CMC was his final hope. He drops 23.1 points. Sutton gets injured in his game and drops a donut for Gabe. And Taysom Hill began this matchup on Thursday by dropping a whopping 0.2 points. On the other side, the matchup for Frank began on Thursday with Pookie Bear dropping 29.5 points. Jalen Hurts 24.4 points. Zeke 16.5 points. Tyreek 14.4 points. Kittle 17.1 points. Addison drops a shocking 0.7 points. But guess what? He's done it again. Frank is going to the championship matchup for his second year in a row. Most are saying it is his championship to lose. Ladies and gentlemen, we will find out very shortly if Frankie will be our first ever 2-time champ or if the winner of our next matchup will be the first-time champ. Spoiler alert. The final playoff matchup to go over is the best friends forever battle again. It is Steven Lombardi versus JP. Ladies and gentlemen, Lombardi has gotten the victory, 119.52 to 98.26 points. Congratulations, Barty, making his way to another championship battle. For Lombardi, he starts Baker again, 19.82 points. Ayuk, 15.3. He starts popping off late in garbage time. And Jahmyr Gibbs with 22 points. For JP, the story here is coaching errors. He began the matchup with George Pickens popping off for 34.5 points. The Philadelphia defense is his lowest scoring defense out of 3 of them that he has total. And of course, he started the Philly defense. He starts Jared Goff, and he has 2 other QBs on the bench who outscored Jared Goff, even though Browning only outscored him by 0.1. Goff drops 14.28 points. Kyron Williams, 17.4. CeeDee Lamb, 23.2. Derrick Henry, 20.88 points. I talked about him last week. It seems like he's not really slowing down. He had 19 attempts in this game. And Brandon McManus with -1 point. JP, so close to gold yet again, but he falls short. As we have a championship rematch, folks. Let's talk about it. Alright, so our 2023 HFL Championship preview. We got the 1 seed Frank versus the 3 seed Lombardi. This matchup is a 2015 championship rematch. In that matchup, Frank won. He was the self-proclaimed youngest HFL champ in history. Of course, there's an asterisk to it. We don't get into a little history lesson. That would take too much time. Frank makes back-to-back championship game appearances. Last year, he lost to Shank. And as you know, Shank did win the championship and then retired from the HFL. This is Frank's 4th championship appearance as he looks to make it his 2nd time to wrap the belt around his waist. For Lombardi, this is his 2nd championship appearance, the first one being 2015. He looks to avenge his 2015 loss this year. For our HFL Toilet Bowl preview, this is insane. 2 7-7 teams in the Toilet Bowl last place game. We have the 8th seed Joe versus the 10th seed Zach. Joe has not been very active this year. Haven't really heard much from him, actually. He was once a shit talker in the league, very loud, very vocal, but this year he's been very quiet. He has #NeverBeenLast in his current name in the group chat. He loves making fun of David for being in last place, and my God, if he comes in last this year, I don't think he'll hear the end of it. Does he even know he's in this situation? I have no idea, like I said. He doesn't say much this year. For Zach, this is insane, as he is the #1 ranked HFL manager in our power rankings. He has never been last, but he was in one last place matchup previously before punishments. He fought Fink in the last place matchup of 2015. Wait a second, 2015? That's right, folks. This is the 2nd time I have brought up the year 2015. Does history repeat itself? Is Frank gonna win? Is Zach gonna dodge last place? Both things happened in 2015. Will it happen this year in 2023? Who knows? We will find out in 1 week's time. And god damn it, I'm going to report it to you. If you look at the screen right now, you will see some screenshots of some 2015 teams here. This is how long it's been since the Frank versus Barty matchup and Zach nearly coming in last place. These are some of the players that were in the league at the time. So just let that sink in, how long it's been. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there is only 1 more week left. History is going to be made. It's been a great year. Can't believe we're wrapping this up. Just 1 more to go. Thank you guys for watching. Seriously. It's been a blast doing this all year. Can't wait to do it next year. This has been the playoffs round 2 HFL recap. I am your host, Jimmy Foosball. Hope you guys like the drip today, man. I had to show out for all my Dolphins fans. If your team has clinched the playoffs, leave a like on the video or drop the heart, whatever the fuck it is on IG. No, I actually scratch that. If your team hasn't clinched the playoffs, drop the heart on it. I know there's not that many teams have clinched the playoffs yet, so we would get no likes on this bitch. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week with a champion and a last place loser. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.